Hello everybody and welcome back to our 4th Age Rhovanion campaign. I just wanted to show you the tail end of this assault of Erebos. As I mentioned in the last episode, I wasn't going to show this. It was just 3 units versus my, almost full stack. And so we've got the last remaining unit of Axemen on the run in the town square. We just ended the battle there. We took about 22 losses. Pretty straightforward, but I just wanted to have that up there as kind of a visible record. So this means with this assault, we now own our first territory in Rhun. And so this means that eventually we'll be able to train up some, I think they're retainer axemen, I think they're called. We will take a closer look at that. Now, we actually have enough population here that I am thinking about expelling. I don't think we want to lay desolate. We do want to make use of this province. There is another army of Rhun just outside it. And there's a full stack and a half here, actually. Alright. I was a little worried about that. Because Rhun can train up the population like crazy. So, recalculating now what I want to do with this army. Because I'm a little concerned that we won't be able to deal with that. We do have some reinforcements on the way, and we've got more that can be sent. But maybe we do want to lay desolate. Now, I think the population is going to be more useful. Some of that population, actually, it's not going to Dale because we've got our governors out of there. So really, the population is going to Rhovanion, where we have a new governor, Rhun, and Nerig's. We need it in all of those places. And so that's going to give a decent amount. It's also going to help a little bit with public order, although not quite enough, actually. So what we're going to do here is I think I'm going to refocus. We're going to make this more of a smash and grab, because I'm not feeling strong enough right here to stay and try to hold on to it. So I think we will certainly, destroy the usual things. We'll get rid of the muster fields, and then the Homeland Dominion is the only other thing we can destroy. But yeah, even on low taxes, we were only at 55% public order. Some of that may be due to some potential bad traits. Although this guy's not too bad, honestly. He's an adept governor. There's some decreased public order because he's stingy, but that's kind of counterbalanced by some of his other traits. So, at any rate, I don't think I want to get stuck here. I think what we need to do is leave a token force here, just so that the AI can't walk back in. And then we'll go back up into the northwest. We will meet up with our reinforcements and keep training those more reinforcements. Let's see. I think, yeah, we're going to go with more Rhovanion March Wardens, and I'm going to send this unit over towards Rhun. This army, rather worryingly, is not pointed back east. If it was, I would probably reconsider where I'm about to move. If they were pointed back this way, I would probably take this army and just push it further east. But I don't think that's going to be the best option, because if I do that, this army is basically free to do whatever it wants around my territory. So I'm going to head back. We're going to leave this here. That certainly screwed up their production, earned us some population in our other cities, and earned us a little bit of cash, all for a very little loss. And so I'm going to take the smallest unit that I have remaining, and that's these 9 Rhovanion Rider mercenaries. Actually, I think I want to bring them back with me, though. I'm going to leave some of these bowman mercs. Yeah, so merge those. The most they can get in a unit is 50. So we'll leave 12 behind. Now, again, the goal here is not to hold this settlement. It may rebel, but I imagine they're going to besiege it, and then eventually that will they will take it. What we're going to do instead is try to move in such a way that we're not immediately attacked by this army. So that means going to the slopes right about there. They might still be able to reach me if they're cheaty about it. Sometimes the AI will do that thing where when it's their turn, they move up to you and then get into a crouched position like this guy is currently, indicating that they're out of movement points, but then they will stand up and hit you because they're just one tile away, And, you know, the game gives them some kind of special dispensation. So anyway, we're going to try to get out of their way, try to assemble more forces, and then maybe, you know, clean up Bray Gestalad and then come back to take Erebos back again, or possibly clean out some of these armies and then move east. Not quite sure, though. Meanwhile, though, let's uncover some settlements. Fennis Rim here, still unwalled. That actually makes it pretty vulnerable. Part of me thinks I should have maybe gone here instead. We could have sacked it. We could have taken a lot of slaves back, but I think this has got to be the better move. I mean, just look at our unit sizes. We've got 18 March Wardens here, 12 here. Some of these mercenaries, you know, a lot of this can be retrained very, very quickly if I can get these guys back to Rhovanion. Again, the population there is looking pretty healthy. So, Nergzagil, a little worried about, yes, because we just had that problem with, well, it's not a problem, but we just had an influx of population, so we're close to a slave revolt. So, I think what I got to do now is move the capital back down. Well, I can't move it too far to the south because I don't want Dale to rebel. Well, okay, Nergzagil absolutely can't rebel. This takes so long. So we're going to have to just try this. Yathenra is our capital again. Now Nergzagil is looking happy. Erebos, I probably could have held Erebos, actually, if I'd moved the capital around, in terms of public order anyway. City of Dale, now that's 45. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, last time we moved these guys out of the city to sort of set them up here to try to get an ambush or something. But, you know, I'm thinking we could probably move these guys back in, beef up the garrison. Let's see if that improves public order to the point where we can hold it. And yes, it does. So we've still got, you know, a fair amount of money coming in. Of course, you know, a good chunk of that is the destruction we just caused in Erebos. And then just looking at our construction. Okay, this is great. Lord's Feast is going to be done in one more season. And so then we're going to get all these benefits. And only 4, I think, for Eastern Wilderness. So hopefully this episode we'll be able to get that done. Okay. Arab Gobel, you know what I should do is move a governor over here to get some of that population up. But let's keep training people around Burn. And I thought I trained a unit of like skirmishers, didn't? Oh, I was going to. Right, I just didn't get to that. All right, so we'll get some garrison over for Nergzagil from Yathenra. Population there looking very good. Okay, I think that's everything we can do at the moment. So, barring one thing, what I've kept wanting to do is get some scouts over into the east, because we really need that that line of sight. And before I forget, we'll just go ahead and move them out right now. Okay, so yeah, this is what I mentioned, that if you leave your spies in a settlement for a while, they'll get this network established trait, which gives them +2 to skill. And so this guy's a pretty decent scout, in part because of that. This guy's actually pretty good just on his own. So I think I will I'll move him out, and he will go over here to kind of keep an eye on Rhovanion and North Rhun. And we've got to have one of these guys. I guess it doesn't matter who. You will head down south in this direction. Okay, and Dale, hard to tell if they moved. Okay. That's actually looking pretty doable right now. And they didn't put me under siege either. Okay, but there's the full stack. All right, there's some axemen, but that's all I can see. So what I'd like to do is get these guys somewhere with theoretically favorable terrain. And that might be right up here. And we'll bring those guys along. And we've got some units that are so weak that I feel like sending them ahead to take advantage of their movement points. I mean, they could get attacked, but I think, you know, even if they do, we'll just kind of do the withdraw thing. Right, you're going over to garrison. And you're coming down to help reinforce. So I'll bring you down over here. All right, checking out projects now. We've got our Lord's Feast. Let's check out the income. Okay, 2,800 a turn. So this is really the more accurate. You know, we didn't sack anything this turn yet, so so that's showing us that we're just shy of 3,000 a turn, which is, you know, workable. It's not the best. But that will certainly improve once we get our fiefdom dominions built. Up in the north here. Okay, and we executed an agent of some kind, probably this spy who's kept trying to get into Esgaroth. All right, well, if I'm going to move on Hjorth, the problem is, as we've seen, we've got public order difficulties in Dale itself. So if I move out these governors, and the army, we're just not going to have the kind of public order here that we want. Yeah, 30%. And if we move the capital again, we're going to face the problem in Nerig Zigil. And that's 65. Yeah, and so I really think we got to keep it at Yathan-Ra, and we have to kind of wait. Now, part of this public order problem is also due to the fact that we have another settlement that also doesn't have any dominion building. Like this one has Outland Dominion, and this one has a Homeland Dominion. So these buildings are very, very important, these dominion buildings, whether they're fiefdom, Homeland, or Outland. And when you destroy them, you know, because you either just want to hurt the enemy or you want eventually to build your own, you know, there is a downside to that, and that is if you're right on the border in terms of public order in your settlements, destroying the dominion building in a settlement that you have taken means there's going to be this period of kind of chaos and lawlessness as the population deals with the, you know, realignment to the new ruler. So it is a bit of a risk, and you know, I was just wanting to do a smash and grab. I think ultimately it was something that I had to do, but it is still a risk. Okay, so we could certainly get hit here. We do have a unit of reinforcements. There's really nothing else we can do, and this is our King's Heir. And if we fight here, I don't know exactly what the terrain's going to look like. You know, I'm thinking maybe this is the better point of terrain. Maybe. I guess we'll see. All right. So just for the sake of curiosity, how far or how close could we get if we take, say, these Rhovanion foresters? That gets it up to 45. And let's get this unit of foresters, 55. And these guys, and let's go for 68. All right, that's actually blue. So who could I bring back? Is that 70? No. Okay, so it looks like we could attempt with this army to take Hjorth. Let's see if we can get any closer look. Okay, so they've got... I thought this looked a little light. If we attack this army, this would come in as reinforcements, but I don't think this would. Let's see if we can get a closer look at what they actually are. So here we've got, you know, some very basic stuff. In here, all I can see is Dale Watch. And there's a couple of longbowmen here that we could theoretically rush. Not that we have the best cav, but we've got archers. Yeah, I don't think there's any other units around. If I go here, that's... I don't know that I would have the movement points, actually, because if you look at the bar on the right, like over here, there's a blue bar that's going to show up. That indicates how many movement points I have. And so if I move right here, which is just one tile away from the army I want to hit, you can see how far down the movement points go. And then if I win, I'm going to be taking another step towards Hjorth. And so I think it's possible that I could theoretically win the battle, but not have the movement points to get into the city. So that, combined with the fact that my men are feeling kind of weak, that we still have reinforcements coming. Here we go. Yep, March Wardens. I forgot about those guys. And we've got some more, like, archers we could bring up. All these things are leading me to think it's not meant to be yet, but we will get it a little later. Let's get some more Barding militia levies, I guess, and well, we got to keep training units. So Yathan Raw, okay, we can retrain here, and I think we got to go with scouts. And still, we don't have the attuned governor trait, so I think we can wait a little bit. And here, you know, maybe let's go with the animal husbandry and fishing rights. That'll just get us in line for an industry building. Okay, so we're retraining. We are building some scouts, and I think that's it. Let's see what's going to happen this turn. All right, we are being attacked. Lieutenant Thandos is attacking. Look at this. The command stars on this guy. 6 stars. Very, very nice. Okay, this is a lieutenant. This is not a family member or anything. And the units here, there's no spearmen of Rhun, for example. There's a good amount of cav, which is a little troublesome, but these are relatively soft cav. All right, well, we have to do it, so let's do it. Okay, the terrain here is... Okay, all right. We can work with this, but it's not the best. So we're gonna have to rush pretty much straight ahead from up here. All right, let's get our ranged guys, and we've got like 1 infantry unit. So here's our spearmen. Alright, skirmishers on either flank, I think. Slingers actually need to be on the flank too. And we've got our 2 archers that we can kind of string out. Oh, this is another archer unit. Okay. This is kind of like the main body here. And then for the rest of it, I think we're going to want to sort of overload our left. So here's our mercenaries. Here's our march wardens, and here's the rest. Since these guys are such worn out units, I'm going to kind of keep them back a little bit. Okay, yeah, look at how they are over here. This is not good. They're attacking me. going to get a nice position, I think, on the hill. All right, let's hit those Eastland raiders, and then we actually have some other raiders to take care of. Bring your cav around there. Break them fast because we're stuck in a bit of a battle with the Axemen of Rhun. Okay. I'll bring you guys back. Alright, let's hit those raiders. Okay, they routed. It's 2 of the units of cav, and we'll hit these guys. And the general is back over there on the right. Let's hit these axemen. They're winded. They're kind of isolated. Alright, we did not get a great charge here. Okay, we broke the axemen. Get out of there. Alright, and we broke them. Good. Here comes the general, though, and not seeing a great way to get him. Oh, actually, with these guys. Here we go. We'll get him sandwiched between all of our units, and, you know, it'd be great if those spearmen would hold out. My single melee unit. Alright, so he should be breaking, and he should go down fast. There he goes. Alright, and now rush in. There they go. Right, keep up the route. Actually, let's push there. The skirmishers are meleeing with us. Alright, great, great. We got a mass route. Well, almost. Let's get out of here. This side is doing very well. Come around. Those axemen pursuing us. Actually, slingers can kind of hold back. Some of the units are regrouping, as is normal. Very good. All right, this is a good result, because this battle is going to mean that that we've taken out a large chunk of the enemy's forces in the area. We should be able to do pretty good in terms of making sure that they don't regroup. I think they're going to fade away. Yeah, once we get up to like 85%. Casualties on those guys, then we'll probably call it a day. Great, all routing. Yep, 84, 85. Awesome. So this is going to mean, yeah, that we can breathe a little bit easier. But the thing is, this is all cheap stuff, and AI Rhun is going to have the population and the money to reproduce this stack pretty much at will. So until we can take out FAM, we're going to always have to worry about this kind of thing, which means we need to have spies. Because this size army, yeah, we can deal with this force, but look, again, we've got a couple of units with 7 men in it. And so this is not really a feasible force to go deep in enemy territory and accomplish, you know, lasting gains. You know, we can go in, you know, pull off an outnumbered victory, and everyone can be very impressed with that back home, but we're going to have to pull out, just like we saw with Erebos, right? We couldn't actually hold it because public order and because the enemy, you know, we can't afford to get bottled up inside settlements, at least with the army composition that we have available to us right now. Now, that's going to change as soon as we can start training stuff in Nereg Zigil. You know, once we get a few levels of military development there, we're going to have some solid infantry, and then it's really going to change how we approach sieges and city fighting, because so far I've been avoiding that like the plague, because A, I don't like it, and B, Rhovanion's not really that great at it. I mean, they do have archers and they do have skirmishers, which can do well in those city fights, but they don't have the types of units that you want to, you know, put on the walls or you know, hold a choke point necessarily. At any rate, I think we can call that good here. Yes, heroic victory, but we lost almost 150. Well, they did have another smaller force in the area. Okay, I can see it just down southwest of Bregestelad. That may have been something different, actually. Okay, and now Erebos is under siege. Great, and you know, they're besieging it with just a single unit, which means they won't be able to assault, because this is a cav unit. So it's going to hold out for 6 turns. I don't think that the city can revolt while it's under siege. I could be wrong there, but I don't think it can. And so that would be actually very nice, because we've got 6 turns to do some retraining, theoretically, and maybe go back and retake it again. All right, Khand and Harad are at war. Interesting. Harad and Adunabar are no longer allies, but Adunabar and Harondor have a ceasefire. So it looks like Khand and Adunabar are still good. Okay. Doesn't really mean much for us because it doesn't involve Rhun. Okay, we've got an attuned governor in Rhovanost. Hornbod of the House of the Blue Sails, and Ulfan picked up the lordship, which is kind of unfortunate, but hey. I want to have someone else be the governor of Dale. And if a better governor comes around, I certainly will make that happen. Okay, and we executed another spy in Esgaroth again. Okay, very good. Let's keep moving our spies now that I'm thinking of that. What do we have here? Oh, they do have the king in the fort of Karnan, and he's got a unit of Hearthmen and some Barding militia. That could be a problem if they get out of the fort and go, you know, assault a place like Yodor, because I don't think I'd be able to deal with it. We'll worry about that as it comes. Let's see. I don't think the AI is going to let us. No, actually, they stayed exactly the same in terms of position. And here I can see this is a very, very tempting target now. They've got a family member. They've got all just low tier stuff. Okay, they shuffled some units around. That's all fine. All right, we're going to come down here, and now let's take a look at what we can do in terms of shuffling around our own units. Okay, so how many men do you have when you've got a full unit of mercenaries? I think it's like 40. Yeah, 40. Okay, that's a little annoying. I guess I could combine these two. Yeah, may as well. I'd hope to, you know, retrain them. You get them down to like 1 man in a unit, and then retrain for like a bunch of free units, essentially, or very, very quickly, you know, retrain them. But that's not going to work. Okay, but this guy can go right back. You guys can all come down here, except you're going to go and help garrison Nergzigil. That did not help very much. And that is because the population here is large enough that those small differences in garrison size are not really weighing very much. Okay, so what we're going to find is Men of Darkness alignment is going to go up by 25%, but it's still going to be massively outweighed by the Ways of the West. So alignment should not be causing any problems for this settlement in a couple of turns. And here, let's see. I think I want to bring these guys back for retraining. It stinks because, you know, you don't want to have to Let's see, could you reach there? No. You don't want to have to send them away and wait, but we've got 11 and 14 in these units, and so we get them back over here. We'll have a couple of fresh units. Now, given that we've got 2 coming, we can send 2 over this way. So that's going to be great. Wait, what are you doing here? Did I send you back up there on accident? I need to send you over to Rhovanos because you're a mercenary. Okay, let's bring these guys over here. I think I want to get everybody together. Okay, I think we'll retrain the 8. We'll send the 8 up. Okay. So, what do we have here? Oh, we've got mercenaries. Ooh, great. So we've got room for 3 more units. So 2 of those are going to be the March Wardens, and another is going to be, well, let's see. Let's train another scout, I guess. And then we'll just kind of keep them coming. And then we'll turn and go where we need to with this army, because this is now feeling a bit better. We might be able to go back and save Erebos. Okay, so we got those. Let's see what we can do here. We've got 2,000 population, and I think that we could certainly do with just a little bit more of a deterrent. Let's go with some spearmen. This is more for the sake of anyone who attacks Rhovanos, because you know, Rohan could do that. All right, then in terms of building, now that this guy is attuned, we're not making a lot of money. Tanneries and wool makers is the thing that makes sense in terms of industry, because again, this is going to lead us to an armor bonus. But we could also go with King's Feast, which is pretty substantial. He is an expert governor. And under 10,000, that's actually, I think, really, really good. But I'm going to go with this option because in 2 turns, we're going to be building stuff in Nerigzagil. So let's do that. Okay, they're bringing up some reinforcements, and this is probably going to be some infantry. If they do merge them up, then they will be able to assault. So let's take a look at our news. We've got some scouts trained up here. Let's send these mercs over before I forget. And you guys can go over as well. And let's go with some spearmen here, because I'll bring you down to kind of reinforce the cities that I hope to be taking at some point. All right, and what were you? Those are the March Wardens. So we'll keep you together with the Cav, and then I think let's get my spy, or scout as we call them, down here, and then I'll move this guy back towards Erebos. We'll just kind of keep knocking these guys around. All right, we've got our fiefdom dominion in Esgaroth. Excellent. Let's see how much our... Okay, great. 3,700, back to where we want to be for that. That really helped quite a bit in terms of income. And we're going to want to go with the Estates and Farmlands Charter here, because this has the wine resource. It's going to be very, very lucrative. In terms of development, we've got major province already built. So we could go up and get our retainer longbowmen here if we decide to go with a military policy. But this is a financial policy place, and I think I want to keep it that way because this is a pretty lucrative location. So yeah, one more turn for that. Okay, we actually have a bit of a good problem here, because we can't support any more men in Dale itself. So I'm going to take a bunch of guys out, just like we did before. Let's leave the Barding Militia levies, and let's step you guys out here. You can go in there. Let's take a look at public order in Nereg Zagil. The population is actually decreasing here because we had too many people, given all of the influx of slaves. We're starting to get a little bit of overcrowding, which is hurting population growth. So what we're going to try is to relocate the capital yet again to Arab Gobel and see if Nereg Zagil will accept that. And they will. It's blue. And now, actually, that's quite a big difference. 4,900 next turn. So we could just take this army now, which is almost a full stack, and march it over towards Hjorth. I think that's what I want to do. Just checking what these... yeah, okay, so they trained a couple of units in Erebor. Checking for ambushes. Yep, and we can't quite hit this army. That's fine. We'll get them next turn, or maybe they'll hit us. Very happy to see that Thrimfeld is still in rebel hands. And what is this? Okay, we're just moving you over. Let's go with... I think I want a unit of Rhovanion scout. No, let's do the March Wardens here. We want at least one unit, or preferably two, in the capital, or in Rhovanost anyway. And in here we are training currently, so I think that's all we want to do. Not really a lot of building I want to do just yet. We will end the turn here. And Nereg Zagil is done building. Very exciting time. Because that means we now have mannish population in Nereg Zagil. Alright, and yes, I see that big Rhun stack, but this is what I want to look at here. Before anything else, we're going to take a look. So, population growth is now not falling, it is stalled at 2,490. We've got public order of 90%, which is very, very workable. And we could certainly queue up, well, just about anything now. If we go with control posts, we're going to get hillmen levies, which is just your basic spearmen unit, but there's at least 100 of them in the unit. And I think that's what I want to do, just so I can get a garrison unit here if I need it. Then we'll explore some of these, charter options later, because we do have a couple of interesting options in Nereg Zagil. But it's the Tier 2 military building that I'm most interested in, and I think we are going to have to go with a military policy here, just because we will need it in order to get to the Mountain Guards, which is the unit that we absolutely want. So that means we're going to be missing out on a little bit of income that we could be making, but I think it's going to be worth it. Okay, and the City of Dale, Fiefdom Dominion is finished, and so now, yeah, look at that. So we just queued up a building that costs, let's actually undo that. So now we're making 8,700 a turn. This is what you want to see. You want to get to this point as Rhovanion, because now we're dealing with, yes, we've still got unfriendly neighbors all around us. We've still got some problems on our borders, and some potential rivals as well. But we're making close to 10,000 a turn, and it may reach that if we can, build well and get some good governors in. So very, very happy to see that. Let's take a look at our agents. So they keep trying to get spies in there. And yeah, just finishing these buildings is just having an excellent effect. So let's queue that up again. In 5 seasons, we'll be able to actually train something. And here we do want to take a look at this force. Okay, there's at least one unit of Spearmen of Rhun here, but this is, again, led by a lieutenant. It's not a full stack, although it looks it, but they've got probably a lot of large size units, so that would be like probably a lot of the warband, basically. So I think what I'll do is I'll let my cavalry kind of catch up. And we'll, in fact, get them all met up together so we can have the benefit of the movement points. And as you can see, he's building all the rams he wants, but he can't dismount in this game, so he won't be able to push them. And we've got 4 turns before that happens. Now, I guess theoretically, this coming turn, they could merge and then assault immediately. Maybe that'll happen. If it does, I don't think I would have wanted to move down here anyway. So we'll kind of play it a little cautious. See what they're going to do. Over here, we'll move into Rhovanion and get training going. And in Yathan-Ra, yeah, we are going to bring down these units just to help with garrison and reinforcement eventually. Now I can get a spy down here. And we can see that, yeah, this is all very low tier stuff. They do have a nobleman there, but he's looking kind of old by the portrait anyway. So, you know, they've built up their fiefdom dominion. We can go in and trash that and take that again. In fact, maybe that'll be the move that I make next turn. Now that I've got my reinforcements, I'll be able to get here and assault it immediately. So I think that's what I'll do. And then I'll bring these guys over towards me. We'll beat them, and that's how that will work out. So I think this makes a pretty good point for us to end the episode. Actually, we'll just get these guys retrained. But thank you for joining me, and I hope you'll stick around for the next one when we are going to have a couple of battles potentially. We're going to see what Dale is going to do with us up here in terms of Hjorth, and we'll see what Rhun is going to do down south. Catch you later.